No.
I still think there's a good player there somewhere, but I don't know. He just doesn't seem to fit, does he?
Here we go. Welcome to the Pompey Pod with Mike, Dan, and Uncle Travelling Tolly is back with us for the final couple of episodes of the season. You all right, gents? Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello.
Yeah, thanks.
So we're going to talk about the Sheffield Wednesday game, but more importantly, I think we won't talk that much about the Sheffield Wednesday game because it was absolute dross. But we're also going to look at our player of the season, and I've got a list of players to run past you for a quick fire. Do we keep them or do we let them go?
Love
We'll
it.
do that just before the player of the season. So let's start with the game. Let's start with the lineup. Actually, 5 changes. We kind of expected it, didn't we? One we didn't expect was probably Killip. It was a bit of a left
Yeah.
wasn't it?
He did all right, actually, didn't he? Thought he was all right.
Did do well. Apparently, Vecino was saying he played him because he hadn't really had a proper look at him. Because he's not even been on the bench, has he? Not even been in the match day squad at all. But yeah, I thought he did okay. He looked quite assured, didn't he?
Yeah. Archer must have been very pleased.
Yeah.
Does he not train with the rest of the team so that Mousinho can have a look at him? Or is he like kept in a box or something?
Yeah. And he watched the good ones, and he watched the ones that are going to be playing.
Yeah.
On Saturday.
They keep him behind a wall. It's not allowed to be seen. I assume it's from a match day point of view, isn't it? That you want to see how he performs actually in a real game. But I think likewise, probably the reason why Blair was playing as well, I think. And let's talk about Blair then, shall we? Thoughts? You like Blair, Dan, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah. I did see a lot of people. See, I was really pleased for him that he got his goal. I thought that's really good, but he still doesn't do anything for me. I'm sorry. He's had a few chances. I did see a lot of people saying, "Oh, that's good. That he played really well." I don't think he played very well. I think he is still too lightweight for this league.
Mm-hmm.
He did okay. A couple of nice touches, but a couple of moves broke down with him losing the ball or running the ball out of play or whatever. So yeah, it was good. It was good that he got his goal, but I think he still needs to do a lot of fitness work over the summer. I think maybe strength. A lot of strength work. Yeah.
He did that one track back, didn't he, in the first 5 minutes or so? I thought fair play. He's obviously been watching Matt Ritchie a little bit. He tracked back and made a good challenge and kind of turned it around and got an attack starting momentarily. But you're not impressed. I thought it was one of his better games for us, but that's not saying much. He hasn't really done much so far, has he? Took the goal well. Couldn't really miss, but he did well to get into position.
Yeah. We got doing it. Get on the end of it.
Get on the end of it, controlled it, put it in the net.
Yeah.
Other than that, so Dazelle played in the 10. Thoughts on Dazelle in the 10?
None.
No, me neither. It didn't really work for me. It's almost pointless, wasn't it? It was just like he was a slightly more advanced midfield 2, wasn't he? He wasn't really a 10, I don't think. But
no, I don't think he's not a 10, is he? Really?
I don't think it really gave us anything. It didn't give us anything from the 10 perspective, but it didn't really give us anything extra in the midfield either, I didn't think. And then final things, I suppose, it's nice to see Shaughnessy start after his injury-ravaged season. But it was a nothing game, wasn't it? We kind of expected it to be a nothing game. We were quite poor. Didn't think Wednesday were that much better. Did you?
No, well, we were hoping it was going to be a bit more exciting. The first half sort of was okay, wasn't it? Both teams scored. I thought, it's going to be good. It's going to be a nice high-scoring game. 2 teams got nothing to lose, just going at it. But then the second half was just shit, wasn't it?
It just didn't start, did it?
No.
Just didn't get going. Going. Tolly, anything more to add on to that?
No Yengi in the squad.
Oh, yes. That's
raised my eyebrows.
Yeah.
So I reckon we've probably seen the last of him in a Pompey shirt.
I think we have.
Yeah.
Are we disappointed with that? I think based on this season, I'm definitely not. No.
I still think there's a good player there somewhere, but I don't know. He just doesn't seem to fit, does he? He doesn't have that. Even players like Al Sheesh that we've said have not been good enough for us. At least they've got the work rate, and you know that they're putting the effort in. Yengi he's got that, comes across as if he can't really be bothered.
Yeah, it seems a bit too late back, doesn't he? Yeah, I don't think it'd be a shame. To be fair, I think he looks to be a decent League One player.
Yeah, agreed.
And maybe that's where his level is, because he's not done anything this season at all, has he? And some would say he didn't really get a chance once Bishop's back, but he had plenty of chances before Bishop was back, and obviously he didn't do himself much. It wasn't his fault. He got injured, but he got injured as well. So, but in the games that he played before Bishop was back, he was just nothing, was he? He was just nothing at all. So, not that sad to see him go. Right, that leads us in quite nicely. Let's move on from Sheffield Wednesday, because it was terrible second half, but moves us on quite nicely to keep or not. So we've already said Yengi not. I'll go through the loanees first, and these obviously it depends on a lot of things, but if we could, would you? Atkinson.
Keep or sorry, would I what? Keep or
keep him or no?
Yeah, I think I would.
Dan?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think he's made.
What do you reckon?
To the team
if we're buying him, because Manning has kind of left a little bit of a door open, isn't he? Liam Manning, the Bristol City manager, to say that it's good that he's got minutes and that Portsmouth have looked after him well. And I think the news read into that a little bit too much, saying, "Oh, hello, what does that mean?" It means that Portsmouth have looked after him well. But if we're buying him, how much do you think he's worth? 1.5 mil.
Can you remind me how old he is?
Age? I'm just
26.
Oh, right. Okay. Younger.
Yeah. Younger than his head, isn't he? Definitely younger than his head.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, I think a couple of million, definitely.
Yeah, we're taking it that. Okay.
1.5.
So we're unanimous yes for Atkinson. Freddie Potts, I don't think we're getting permanently, but you think it'd be nice to have him for another season on loan?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, that's a nice, easy one. Isaac Hayden. Done all right the last couple of games.
Not for me, thanks.
Me neither. I think he'd be better.
No, I don't think he's filled in bit parts, hasn't he? But I don't think he's really, again, a good League One player, probably.
Yeah, well, he's a Newcastle player, isn't he? So
that's the surprising thing, I think.
Yeah. Okay, so Adil Al-Shish. I think this may split the room. I'm a definitely no, thanks.
You're a definite no. I will leave Tolly till last then. I would say no, but I think he could be a better player, but just hasn't really worked for him.
Yeah, I think he's got potential. I reckon. I don't know. We've seen it with quite a few of our players recently, haven't we? In the last couple of years, Murphy for one, Kamara for another. Both started a little bit. The first half a dozen games, we were all a bit, but then all of a sudden they turned it on. So whether Ashish is one of those, I don't know. I would keep him and give him the benefit of the doubt for another dozen games or something. I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. I just think he's one of those who's like Dan said many times. He works hard and tries hard. I just think he doesn't suit our system, the way he plays. I just think it's one of those things. I don't think he's a bad player. Mark Omani.
Oh yeah, it's a tough one. I think we could possibly do without him. I think we'll probably sign at least one striker,
especially if Yengi goes
over the summer. He's done all right, hasn't he? He's got how many goals? Three or four goals? Three goals? Three goals.
Two or three or four.
Yeah, three in about 13 appearances.
Yeah, he's been injured a lot, hasn't he? Difficult to tell. Okay, Tolly, any thoughts on Omani?
I think no. I don't think so.
No. Okay.
I think if you look at the caliber of the strikers from the top teams in the Championship, the top half teams in the Championship, I don't think Omani would get into any of those top table teams. So I think we need to be a bit more ambitious.
Yeah, it's a little bit like Dane Scarlett one, isn't it? Where he came with a big reputation, and people said he's still only 19, so he could still do big things. But Dane Scarlett didn't really turn it on for us. Didn't turn it on for Oxford. Hasn't really done it since leaving us, has he? So Gordon, Inspector Gordon. No, what was it?
Kane.
Flash.
Kane Gordon.
Kane Gordon. Yes.
Cade, apparently.
Cade. Yes.
Cade. Yeah, Cade.
So I only said Kane. I thought it didn't sound right in my mind.
Gordon.
I'd like to see more of him. I think
Yeah.
he's got potential. I want to keep him. I think he'll be a one for the future, definitely.
I think the problem is with players like that when they've got big hair, if you're not instantly good, I think that's a massive.
Because you can't miss
I'm trying to think of a player that's got big hair and is a good player, and you think, oh yeah, love that big hair.
Carlos Valderrama.
So we're going back, what, 30 years there?
David Ginola.
20 years. David Ginola. Yeah, but his was more long rather than big. I'm talking when they got big hair, like Fellaini. Fellaini was all right, wasn't he?
At Everton, I guess. Okay, so those are the lone players. And then we've got Bramall, Cohen.
Keep
Bramall. You'd keep him? He's out of contract. He was only on 6 months, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, as a backup, I think. And he's lightning quick, isn't he? I think. Yeah, I'm not sure about. I think when you've got him and Murphy on the same side, that doesn't work. So
yeah, I would say maybe he's a backup to Murphy, if anything, as a kind of wide player. He did okay on a few games that he came on there, didn't he? Probably an easy one. This Milosevic.
Who?
Oh yeah,
defender we signed as cover for Atkinson when he was injured and never played.
Yeah,
I think we'll be letting him go.
Yeah.
And last but not least, the final player out of contract this summer is Zach Swanson. Was, but he's now triggered a clause to have another year. But what are we thinking about Swanson?
I think keep. Dan does not agree.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, we'll keep him.
I think he's had a few decent games.
No, I think he has. I think, but that's the thing. I think he sort of veers from having a really good game to a quite poor game. It seems to be one or the other with him, like hitting the heights of keeping Son quiet at Tottenham, and then he had that. I know that was last season, but he had a couple of bad games this season, didn't he? Where there was one where he was taken off after half time, or shortly after half time. So no, I don't dislike Swanson, but I think a bit more consistency maybe.
Yeah, on his day. The thing I think with Swanson is, obviously, would you now say that Devlin is now a right back? And if he is, that means we then got 3 decent right backs. And I would just say, do we really need him? It's kind of, I think he's relatively cheap from a wage point of view, but I think that would be one of the main reasons we keep him, which isn't necessarily the right reason to keep someone, is it? Just because they're cheap. I wouldn't be gutted if he left, if I'm honest with you, but I wouldn't be surprised if we kept him either. Okay, there you go. So that's the players that we would keep or not. So most of those were loan players. So we shall see. Player of the year, fellas. We come to that moment. Obviously, Josh Murphy has cleaned up all the awards at the official Portsmouth Player of the Year awards this week. He got goal of the season, players player, and player of the year. We're going to discount Murphy for now. Who else has he got in the mix? One player each mix.
Gonna go Ogilvy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's mine as well. That's not shocking.
You're gonna have to pick another one because we need 4 in the mix.
Okay, I've got another one then. Ogilvy would be my in anyway. The player of the season. Go on, Tolly.
Sorry, what was the?
I would pick Ogilvy anyway for player of the season, but go on. You can talk about why you would pick him.
Oh, why? I just think rock solid, underrated. I think he's only missed 1 league game this season. Is that correct?
44 he's played. 44.
Scored 4
goals.
He missed the one game that Farrell played, didn't he? Was that against Sheffield United or something like that?
Yeah, it was early, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But just dependable, both boxes, doing his job, never let anyone down, and just reliable. Yeah. And stepped up as well from League One, without even a batting an eyelid.
Yeah, I second that. Most appearances out of all of our players. The fact that the first few games he had some tough matches, didn't he? Especially the first game against Leeds, where he gave away the penalty. He looked like he was going to be one of the. I'm sure we probably said it on here. One of the first ones to be replaced. Yeah, but I just think he's got better and better. Yeah, so he gives 100% every game. I think he's one of those players that even when he gets a yellow card, you don't think he's one of those. He's going to go on and get a red card because even though he's tough in the tackle, he's never been a dirty player apart from that one challenge that he made. I can't remember that was against. It was
like scissors on the halfway line, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Kind of really.
Other than that,
most unnecessary.
Yeah. Other than that, he's really good in the tackle. Never dirty. Never gets wound up by anything. Never gets involved with any shit going on. Does he? Just does his job. Yeah. So I just think he's been, and got a lot of flack early on this season.
Yeah. Do you know what? Well, there's one moment that really epitomises him, I think, and it's against Middlesbrough, which was the second game of the season, was it? Third game of the season, when we were kind of under a lot of pressure, and there's a moment where Ogilvy wasn't having the best of games, but the ball was loose in the area, and it was only about 6 yards out. They went to have a shot, and he'd already slipped, and he just threw his head in the way of the ball, laying on the ground, and literally the bloke booted it against his face. And it's like, but that's what you get from him. And then literally, most players would stay down for like 20 minutes after that, wouldn't they? But he was up again in about 3 minutes, just shook it off and got on with it. Yeah. I think that's what I really like about him. He's one of those players who, I think if you had a most improved, it would definitely be him, wouldn't it? Without a doubt. Yeah, definitely. Okay, who else you got then? Who else do we have in this shortlist?
Well, I had Schmidt as well.
Yeah, and I think you got to mention Bishop as well, haven't you? With with his heart surgery, coming back, turning the team around, his presence, whether people like it or not, or whether they notice it or not, has had a definite impact on the number of points that we've picked up.
Yeah,
and I suppose you've then also got to chuck Lang into the mix for the fact that he pretty much was our goal scorer for the first 2/3 of the season, wasn't he?
I think Lang would have been was a shoe-in for it, wasn't he? If he hadn't got injured, I think he would have easily got player of the season.
Yeah, I think so. You knew again a little bit like Ogilvy. You knew what you were getting from him. You were getting 100% from the minute we kicked off to the 95th minute when he just didn't stop running. So,
what about Potts?
Just too inconsistent for me to be considered. I think he's had some really good games, but not enough. I don't think to be in the mix. But are we putting it out to a vote, or are we just going to say it's Josh Murphy's here and now?
I don't know. I think you have to say Josh Murphy just for the assists and goals, particularly the assists and that period when he was went 6 or 7 games and he was brilliant every game.
Really good, really, really good.
But I would still pick Ogilvy.
I agree. Yeah, Ogilvy. This is the thing. If it wasn't for Murphy, you'd actually have a really close run thing between 4 players. I think, wouldn't you? You'd probably have not a lot between all of them. You could make a shout for all of them: Bishop, Lang, Ogilvy, and Schmidt. But you just have to say Murphy is the one outstanding player. I think in the 7 goals, 14 assists. It's pretty impressive stuff. Okay, there you go. That's the Pompey Pod's player of the season, Josh Murphy. Are we unanimous on that? Are we happy with that?
No, I said Ogilvy.
Ogilvy.
Still gets one.
Okay.
Ogilvy.
That's
your show.
I'm all for democracy. So we're going Ogilvy. We'll buck the trend. That's fine. We'll go Ogilvy. Cool. We'll see if we can get an interview with him.
Yeah,
do that.
And didn't we upset a few people last year with our choice of player of the season, didn't we?
Who was our player of the season?
I think it was Raggett, wasn't it? Wasn't it Raggett? Do you remember who we picked Raggett?
He was certainly in the mix, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Definitely in the mix, and some people definitely didn't like that.
Not like that.
I think they were planning on picketing, doing a march onto our individual studios. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe this will cause a similar stir. We'll see. What do you think? Do you think Ogilvy is the player of the season? He's our player of the season. There you go. It's 2-1. Fair play. And I think that's fine. Okay, we'll be back later this week with a preview to the Hull City game, final game of the season. All right, so Play Up Pompey, goodbye. Oh, don't forget to subscribe, get involved with the podcast. Hit the little thing there. Play Up Pompey, goodbye.